and welcome to Passport Adventures, where each week I'll be your tour guide as we explore countries of the world from the comforts of home. Where are we headed this week? We're headed to the largest country in Europe, France. I'm so excited. Let's get on that plane. Beautiful. We've landed in Paris, the capital city of France. There's so much to see just in this one city. There's, oh, gorgeous, the cathedral at Notre Dame. The Louvre, which used to be a palace, but is now the largest and most visited art museum in the world. The Arc de Triomphe. And of course, the Eiffel Tower. With so much to see, it's no wonder that France is the #1 tourist destination in the world, with 89 million people visiting every year. Of course, with all of those people, you're going to get a lot of traffic. In all of Paris, there is only one stop sign. One. Oh. Paris has something else called roundabouts, rotaries, or traffic circles. And of course, we have these in Maine too, but Paris has 30,000 of them. 30,000! That's half of the roundabouts in the whole world in just one city. Now, if we head out of the city, we will find these beautiful villages. Looks like it's plucked right out of Beauty and the Beast. Can't you just picture Belle singing along here? There are homes in the country and lots of lush farmland. There are gorgeous beaches in the south on the French Riviera and snowy mountains called the Alps. These locations are home to a lot of cool animals. Look at this guy. He's the European hare. We've got the eagle, the lynx, the marmot, the mouflon, the wild boar, the wolf, the raccoon dog, and the mink. It's also home to an important domestic animal, the cow. What a nice cow. There are 19 million cows in France. Why do they need so many cows? Well, France makes 1.8 million tons of cheese a year. With 1,200 varieties of cheese, it's no wonder the French eat 57 pounds of it every year. Each person, 57 pounds! Food is very important to the French. They even have 2 new cookbooks released every single day. They also have a law that says big grocery stores and restaurants aren't allowed to throw away food if it's still edible. They need to donate it to people in need. Now that's a win-win situation if I've ever heard of one. Now some of the foods France is known for are, delicious crepes, French onion soup, escargot, which is snails. France harvests 30,000 tons of snails a year, and the average person eats about 500 snails. There's a vegetable dish called ratatouille, and delicious quiche. Chocolate mousse, macarons, croissants, and tempting eclairs. I can't even imagine if I had an eclair this big. I use it as a sleeping bag. There are so many delicious pastries available in the local shops. Hey, here's some kids enjoying a treat. Now, if I want to say hi, I need to say bonjour or salut. because the people in France have French as their first language, but most of them speak another language too, and it's only polite to use their native language. So I would say salut, and they might have names like Gabriel or Simone. Now, if I ask them what their favorite game is, chances are they're going to say soccer. But they might also tell me about a really old game. It dates back to the 1500s. It's called Ball and Cup. And this picture shows all these grown-ups in the street enjoying a game of ball and cup. It was so popular, even the king, King Henry III, was rarely seen without the toy in his hand. The children might also tell me about some of the cool festivals they have in France. There's National Kite Day. There's the Bastille Day. That's kind of like our 4th of July. There's the medieval fair at Sedan, complete with jousting and sword fighting and a dragon statue that breathes fire. There's the Menton Lemon Festival. It's held each year since 1934, and 280,000 people go to it every year. Isn't that a pretty town? There are displays of lemons and oranges and limes. 140 tons of citrus fruit are used to make these beautiful exhibits every year. And every year, they're different. There's also a really circus-like atmosphere at this festival. They've got acrobats and jugglers and music and dancing in the streets. One more thing the kids might tell us is to watch our backs on April 1st. April Fool's Day is what we call it here, but they call it Poisson d'Avril, April fish. You see, April fish dates back to 1582. That's almost 500 years ago. France switched from the Julian calendar, which had the year starting on April 1st, to the Gregorian calendar we use today, where it starts on January 1st. So anyone who continued celebrating New Year's on April 1st was considered to be a fool and had tricks played on them. The most common trick is to stick a paper fish onto their back without them knowing. And when they figure out they've got the fish on their back, you shout out, Poisson d'Avril, April fish. It's fun for kids to see how many fish they could get stuck on someone's back before they notice. They even have a special candy for that day, a chocolate in the shape of a fish. Now, kids aren't the only ones who get in on the fun. TV news stations and newspapers also like to play tricks on the French people. Every year they publish stories that aren't true. One time in 1986, they put on the news that the Eiffel Tower had been taken apart and brought to Disneyland. In 2009, they said that all the wind turbines used for energy were actually slowing the Earth down, and from now on, days will have 25 hours instead of 24. Of course, the next day, everyone laughs and says, Poisson d'Avril, April fish. I had fun visiting the beautiful, funny country of France. Now, if I want to say goodbye, I need to say adieu or au revoir. So, adieu, France. It's been a blast. Let's head home. All right, we're back from France and we have some things to help us remember our trip, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's take out our packets. All right, so inside our packets, what do we have today? Dun-dun-dun. We have, first of all, since food is so important in France, we have two recipes. This one is for chocolate mousse, so light and fluffy. And this one is for quiche Lorraine, a yummy meal no matter what time of day. All right, so 2 good recipes. Then we have a piece of cardstock, and you'll notice on one side, you might not be able to see it on the camera, there's a light tracing of what the shape of the Eiffel Tower is. You don't have to use that side, but I wanted to put that there because it might be a little bit tricky to do this craft without the lines there. We'll get to this craft in a minute. There is a French food word search. There is one of the poisson d'avril fish that you can color in, cut out, and see if you can tape it on somebody's back on April Fool's Day without them noticing. And when they finally notice, you can either say poisson d'avril or April fish. You will find a stick, a ball, a string, and a cup. This is for a ball and cup craft. We're going to make the game that was so popular with King Henry. But we're going to put that aside and get back to that Eiffel Tower. Now, there are 10 straws in your packet, and that page that just has a light tracing of the shape of the Eiffel Tower. Now what we're going to turn that into is an Eiffel Tower made out of straws. Now I didn't color in a background when I made this. I literally just made the shape that I wanted it to be. It'd be kind of tricky now to go back and try to color in a background. So if I was going to do this again, I would definitely color something happening in the background, maybe some pretty flowers, maybe some of those 89 million tourists. I don't think I can fit all of them on the page, but I could try. Then all you need to do is take scissors and glue stick. And I'm going to use the scissors to cut pieces. Now I see on here I need 2 long pieces, so I want to make sure I save 2 straws for the long pieces. Okay, you can mix around your colors as much as you want. I kind of made mine one color, different color, one color, different color, one color, different color. But you do it however you want. You need a short little piece for the top and some little pieces here. So what you might want to do is cut a bunch of pieces to start with, and then take your glue stick and start gluing. Now it might take a little bit extra glue stick. If you have paste at home, be sure you can use that paste, because you can see this has been dry for a couple days and now the glue is a little bit loose. I probably didn't use enough. So use a lot of glue and stick your straws on like that. And then you just fill in the shape of the Eiffel Tower. Again, you color the background beforehand if you'd like to. And in the end, you will have a lovely souvenir of our trip to France. Now, the ball and cut game. The ball and cup game. You have a dowel and a ball and a cup. So you're going to take scissors or a knife, maybe a grown-up could do this for you, and you're just going to make a little slit like an X. An X instead of cutting a big hole, because a big hole is going to make this very loose on the stick. So if we cut in an X and then we push the stick through, it's still wobbly, but we can fix that. And how are we going to fix that? With tape. You can use, I use Scotch tape on this one that I made, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I've got tape that is white to demonstrate. So the first thing you need to do is make a tape that's going to be thick here to stop the cup from going, ooh, that's not the noise, to stop the cup from going all the way down. So we can actually take the cup back off and put this on. Now you probably want a couple pieces of tape, whether you're using Scotch tape or washi tape or duct tape, masking tape, painter's tape, electrical tape, whatever tape you're using. Get it nice and thick. That will be a stopper. Now the cup can't go further than that. Now, I noticed when I made it, instead of putting this on and then trying to reach through and put some more tape there, that I would just guess that there's a little bit of space you need for the cup bottom to rest on. So I put some more tape, not as much because I want the cup to be able to go over it. But if I put some tape, not as thick, if I pull this upright. Okay, so this bottom one is thick, it's going to stop the cup from sliding down. This tape above it is just to help it not slide off in the other direction. So now I have a pretty stable cup. The ball is a ping pong ball. It's very, very light. So I was worried about having to tie this or hot glue it, but actually a piece of tape is all you need. It's so light that a piece of Scotch tape will tape it to the end of the string. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, all we have to do, last step, is tie or tape the string to the stick. Now you don't want to tie it way down here. You want to tie it right up near the cup. And after I do this, we're going to switch back to the other camera. See, there it's, the craft is done. We're going to switch back to the other camera so that I can show you ball and cup. Okay, so string, cup, ball. You've probably played this before or something like it. Let's see if I can do it on one try. One. Oh, first try, yay! All right, let me try with this hand. Maybe it was beginner's luck. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it. I got cocky. I got excited because I thought I could, almost! I thought I could do it. I want to get it in one more time. Yay! I hope you had fun too. And where are we going next week? You're going to have to tune in to find out. Until then, au revoir.